Wow, such a nice house. Let me see, where is the owner of the house? Number 8. I love this number. The number of prosperity, number 8. Let's see where the owner is. Hi, good morning.
Hello.
Morning, Dato.
Yes.
Kadir.
Oh, welcome to my house.
Thank you, sir.
Have a seat.
Thank you, terima kasih.
Oh, bukan senang ni dapat visitor.
Radio, television, Bandara Ipoh. Morning Ipoh with Katie. Episode number 5 takes me to a wonderful, incredible, quiet area. So serene, so beautiful, and so comfortable. Conversation with Yang Bahagia, Dato Haji Muhammad Odzman Kadir, a personal good friend of mine for many years, a person who I admire for his dedication, his community work, and his wisdom in life. Today, believe me, we will take home golden nuggets. Nuggets which is full of knowledge about a man who has gone through ups and downs, trials and tribulations to where he is today. And standing tall with me this morning, but sitting down, of course, right now, is Dato Muhammad Odzman Kadir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Welcome to my humble home.
Your house is so beautiful, Dato. And let me begin with your humble beginnings. Were you born in Ipoh, Dato?
Of course, the famous Kampung Paloh.
Yes, Kampung Paloh. Oh, yes. Great
Very
place.
historical.
And where did you study?
Oh, very close to my kampung. That is the famous school in Perak. There is Anglo-Chinese school.
Hey,
Ipoh.
that's also my school, Dato.
Oh, so all right. So I think we are not far from each other.
Exactly.
Okay.
Same mind thought.
All right.
Same thought of education and
Yes.
so forth.
That's where I nurture my multiracial, relationship with every races. Anglo-Chinese school.
And I know you were involved in a lot of organizations. But tell me, Dato, as a youth, what were you basically very involved in?
Well, I started getting involved in community work through youth organization. From a kampung youth club, I move on to the district level, the state level, until the national level. I was the ESCO member of the Malaysian Youth Council.
Wow.
If I may say, at that time, Anwar Ibrahim was the president of the Malaysian Youth Council.
And believe me, I think also during your involvement in the youth activities, you also posted maybe a chance to visit overseas. Did you travel?
I travel almost half of the world.
Wow.
Not with my own money, of course.
Wow.
This is because through the youth exchange program.
Exactly. And among all the countries that travel, I believe there will be a certain country, a certain place that will bring you great memories, that is maybe something that maybe change your life. Which country will you select?
Oh, of course, every country, every town that I visited gives me a memorable story.
Exactly.
But most of all, which I treasure until I think death, that I will always remember and I will share with my children and my grandchildren. This is Canada, where I participated in the youth exchange program Malaysia-Canada in 1973. And that's where I first met my wife.
Wow.
She was a participant from the Penang Youth Council, and I was from Perak.
And were there anything that you can remember? Did you try to talk to her or speak to her? Or how did you manage to
Of
move
course.
forward?
We were 80 of us then. There were about 40 men, boys at that time, boys, youth, and 30 girls. And there were so many attractions. But I got attracted to this lady from Penang named Sharifah Rashida. And you know what?
I don't know.
I proposed to her at Niagara Falls.
Seriously?
Yes.
That is one of the 7 wonders in the world.
Exactly. In front of my friends, they asked me whether if I'm serious, I proposed in front of them. So I did it. And God willing, the next year when I'm back in Malaysia, we got married. 73 met, 74 got married.
Such a interesting and marvelous story. Dato, why it touched my heart when you say Canada. I spent 5 years in Toronto in Canada. So you can see a lot of similarities between both of us from a different era. Studied in the ACS school, managed to travel to Canada. And of course, upon returning back, you were also involved in something called tourism, which this is where I began to know you as a person which I respect, a leader where I can see who's very involved. This name, Odzman Kadir, will always ringing on my ears. And I first met you, Dato, I remember was in Royal Casuarina Hotel in Ipoh. Share with us your experience in tourism.
Of course, well, after being active in the youth organizations, I was involved in many state programs as the MC.
Wow.
Then it caught the eye of the state secretary. At that time, Perak Tourism Association, Perak Tourist Association, then the president or the chairman then was the state secretary. So he saw me, so he invited me. At that time, the late Tan Sri Radin Sunarno. So he said, young man, you better come into the tourist board, and I was appointed as assistant secretary.
What year would that be, Dato, approximately?
Well, late 70s.
Late 70s.
Late 70s.
And that began your career other than
Yes.
your work. You were working as a teacher, I believe.
Of course.
Yes.
Yes.
And how do you manage to actually equalize the time between your work, tourism activities, and your family?
Yeah, you see, I'm blessed to have married my wife, and being a teacher, I have extra time in the afternoon, and my wife being a youth leader is very supportive of what I'm doing. So together, it enhanced my work. So, well, I'm quite dedicated man. From youth to tourism, and from secretary until I became the president.
There's an English saying, behind every successful man is a sporting wife.
Exactly.
And I believe I know, because I know your wife, Datin Sharifah, personally. She is also a lady of eloquence, and I worked before in Pantai Hospital where my son was born. It brings a lot of incredible messages and incredible attractions for Ipoh. And you, being a person who has been a councillor at the Ipoh City Council, because of our experience in tourism, you see, in Ipoh City Council, we will need professionals in different fields.
Yes, I was appointed.
You were appointed, not under any political,
because most of the, I should say almost all the councillors were political based.
Yes, exactly.
So I was the only one tourism based.
Wow.
I was appointed by then the Chief Minister or the Menteri Besar.
Yeah, I think it's great to realize that in any places that you go or any city that you have, that tourism is basically the highest earner, a place where we need to take care, where we need to speak about how we're able to juggle between tourism and also food plus places of interest. So Dato, over the years of you getting involved in tourism, what do you think will be your most memorable experience that you remember? Any events that you did?
Well, events, there are many events, but most important is what you want to do. To me, I always go back to my roots. That is Ipoh and Perak.
Yes.
So I want to see Ipoh prosper. Yeah, because people say that Ipoh is just a bypass town then. Then it became a city, still a bypass city. But how can we bring people and stay in Ipoh? So I believe we don't need $1 million to promote Ipoh. I always believe that we improve of what we have. We promote it to the locals. Make sure everybody sees. They visit to the places. They bring their children to the places, so that everybody knows what is behind their backyard. What do they have next door? What do they have in the kampong? Whatever the history and all that. So Ipoh is so rich in history. So, and yet they were not told. So you cannot blame when people do not know. They are not aware of what they have. So it is our duty So I always believe in my tourism association. I always says I believe in collaboration. We cannot do it alone.
And right now, Dato, as the president of the Perak Tourism Association, PTA, what will be your idea to bring this association forward, working together in cooperation with Tourism Perak and other tourism bodies to ensure that Ipoh will always remain as a place of visit, as a place where persons will come and see, hey, Ipoh is the place I want to stay. What will be your take on this, Dato?
Yes. As I said, tourism is everybody's child, everybody's what they call this interest. So we must bring everybody's together. So PTA or Perak Tourism Association acts as a catalyst. Yeah, we like a big brother. We bring all because we are not business based organization like MA or Malaysian Association of Hotel. They look after the hotels. MATA, Travel Agent Association, they look after the travel agencies. But PTA looks after the state, look after the people, look after the industry players. So we have been doing, we are doing, and we will continue doing in getting people together, in collaborating every organization with the government agencies to promote the state and the city.
Such eloquency, such smooth flowing, it came from the heart. Sincere, direct, warm, and knowledgeable. This morning's radio, television, Bandara Ipoh, Morning Ipoh with Katie, segment 1 will conclude because we now know a little bit more about this gentleman. Yang bahagia, Dato Haji Muhammad Odzman bin Kadir. We take a short break right now for commercial and back to segment 2, a chance maybe to visit inside this fantastic, comfortable and beautiful house. Radio, television, Bandara Ipoh. Morning Ipoh with Katie's talk show, session 2. A conversation with Yang Bahagia, Dato Haji Muhammad Odzman bin Kadir. This great man who has shared his vision from his humble beginning to his commitment and involvement in something close and deep in his heart. The roots of tourism is in him. With this kind of smile, of course, we take him far. We are indeed very glad, privileged and honored to have a person who's born in Kampung Palo, who studied in ACS Ipoh, who has traveled all over the world, but has made Ipoh his home till today. And I believe he'll be here till the last breath of his life. But now we will continue the second segment of asking Dato this question. Dato, you have been in the tourism line for many years, and I also believe that the Perak Tourism Association was closely associated with the Ipoh City Council. When did this involvement and collaboration started with the City Council?
Well, it started way back during the first mayor, Dato Haji Umar Abu. He invited Perak Tourism Association to sit in a tourism committee formed by him, and he being also the vice chairman of the Perak Tourist Association then.
Good. So that means from the first mayor itself, there were already lots of events organized together in tandem with how we're able to bring Ipoh City to a higher pedestal.
Now, the mayor then understands the importance of collaboration, the importance of getting together in exchanging ideas, collaborating efforts between the government and the private sector.
Yes, other than the Ipoh City Council, I also believe that the Perak Tourism Association is also associated and collaborating with a lot of other travel agencies, travel and tours.
Yes.
So can you please explain further?
Yeah, we were then what they call this affiliated to the National Tourism Council of Malaysia.
Okay.
In fact, we were the charter member. We formed the national together with other state tourism association.
Wow.
We formed the Malaysian Tourism Council, National Tourism Council of Malaysia, NTCM then.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that Dato has taken and steered the tourism sector in Ipoh to a higher level. This is very important for sustainability, for direction, for promotion, and to ensure that everything falls in place. I believe both Dato and I sees Ipoh City as a place where we will always remember. So Dato, let's say for example, if I have a foreign friend from Canada and he's in Ipoh, and on that day I had a busy meeting, I'm unable to take him for a tour. Dato, I think I can give him hands. What to do to ensure that he will see Ipoh in an area or in a direction or in a focus that he never ever forget? Where will you take him?
You see, tourism attracts many sectors, many, I should say, phases of tourism, of tourists. You see, depend the age group also. So knowing international tourists, to them heritage is the important factor.
Exactly. Agree.
Yeah. So first, I will take him round the Ipoh Heritage Trail, talking about all the buildings,
Right.
the heritage building, the history of it. When was it? How was it built? Who was involved? Especially the Ipoh railway station, the Dewan Bandaran, the public bank, and so on and so forth. Even the Ipoh Padang, I was told that the turf, I don't know how far it's true, it was told to me by one of the senior ex-member of the Majlis Perbandaran that the turf came from Australia.
Oh, is it?
Yes, at that time, Ipoh Padang is the place where you have the sports meet, That's time the para AAA, the telecom meets, everybody congregate there. So that's why I said Ipoh has got so much to offer. But most important is the storytelling.
Yes.
There is no point in showing buildings, but there is no life. When there is no life means no storytelling. You see, I can talk to you about this table, how it is made, what kind of wood that they choose, the type of glass, how thick is it. So it's important. Storytelling is important. So we lack of that. I must say I'm very sorry to the tourist guides of today, not only in Ipoh, I think mostly many parts. We have good ones, of course, but we lacked good storytelling. So that keeps people. So from 1 hour, they might turn it into a day. From 1 day, it might turn it into 2 days. So there's nothing wrong with our tourism spots, tourism products. It's because of storytelling. Remember, can I share you one experience that I visited Pulau Samosir in Indonesia? The tourist guide brought us to one stone. Everybody was looking at the stone, and that guy was talking about the stone for nearly half an hour. I do not know whether it's true or not, and I, I should say, stupid guy, even took a photograph with the stone. So that's where storytelling is all about.
The second segment of the conversation, we are bahagia, Dato Haji Muhammad Odzman Kadir, ends here because we're going to take a short commercial break. This man has got a passion, and he actually is like me, Katie. We both keep talking, we don't stop. So that's why we're going to take a short break. Morning Ipoh with Katie's conversation will begin again in the final conclusion of the third segment this morning. Stay tuned.
With curiosity comes the need to seek adventure. The memories you choose to keep are solely yours to create, and only you have the power to do so.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Wonderful adventures like this taught us to be thankful for what we have. It gave us a different perspective of everything we see. This adventure is the memory we chose to create. An adventure begins at home.
Radio, television, Bandara Ipoh, Morning Ipoh with Katie, Episode 5, Segment 3, Conversation with Dato Haji Muhammad Odzman Kadir. We go to a place where it is part of Ipoh. I grew up going there with my parents, a place called Taman DR. What is your take, Dato, on Taman DR?
Taman DR is the one of the pioneer park in Ipoh, where community at large, families spend their evening with their children, recreation. And we can see footballers playing football, hockey, and also family can have their evening together. I used to bring my children to the park with a pack goreng pisang or cok kodok or whatever.
Nice.
And I have a ready mangkuang mat in my car, and that's where we have our tea with the family.
And Taman DR is still there. What do you envisage or what do you think should be done to Taman DR? The status we should have.
While we welcome the initiative of Bandaraya in improving the Japanese garden, which is a unique attraction, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think we must not forget the what we have. Those days, the main attraction is, among others, is the boat ride. But unfortunately, because of I should say poor water flow, there's not enough water for boat ride.
Yes.
And those days, I enjoy taking my two kids on a train ride around.
Train ride.
Train
yes,
ride.
Yes.
So I still remember, I was a teacher then, when one of my pupils said his father is a train driver. So I thought, oh, you're with KTM?
KTM.
No, train from Taman DR. So, but then it was the attraction.
Yes.
You just pay 50 cents and we have the rain ride. Simple, cheap, and yet that's where families enjoy with their.
Well said. My next question, Dato. The COVID-19 pandemic. As early as March, we were already in the Movement Control Order, the MCO. And the tourism industry took a very big hit. Definitely, the borders were closed, attractions was not being able to be done because of social distancing. And we are already on to many months now. It's almost coming to the end of the year. So Dato, what steps or precautions or ideas and preventions or ideas that you have for the tourism industry to move forward?
Yeah. Perak Tourism Association, being a concerned body for the state and also the stakeholders, feel that giving a motivation to all the players, tourism players, telling them that this is not at the end of the world. We can, if we strive, we believe in God, that there is a solution to everything. But we must not be selfish. We must not think, if I'm a hotelier, I only think how can I fill my hotel rooms. If I'm a travel agent, how can I sell packages? If I'm a product operator, how can people come to my place and forget about other places? No. You see, I believe God sends the message, but we must understand. This is about time. It's a wake-up call to everybody. The wake-up call, to my knowledge is, to my understanding is, we must work together. Stop being selfish and stop being always asking what is the government giving to us. Fine, yes, the government has got their responsibility, and we leave it to them. They know what's best to be given to the society, to the people. But we, on the other hand, what shall we do? So Perak Tourism Association is organizing, I should say, an e-conversation in the near future, in very short while, that to get everybody to join force, hoteliers, travel agents, product operators, tourist guides, and whoever is interested who can be there, to join in and share ideas. How can? Maybe now we cannot have visitors, but we can start planning.
Yes.
We can take stock of what we have, what is not right. We can, this is the time to improve our house, in-house. You know, our door is not properly thing. Fix the door. Our kitchen is on it. Fix the thing. The homestay. So plan the thing. So, but please don't let everybody do it alone. Do it together. Sit down. Maybe you cannot sit at the main table. We do it, through e-conversation. So, but we must continue to look for ways. Yeah? God gives us the brain, but we must believe in God, and at the same time strive sincerely. Think for everybody. Don't think about yourself. Believe me, you will get something.
Very well said. You saw how Dato stressed the point of working together as a team, moving forward. That is how we are required to. Of course, right now, as Dato said, the time taken is for the operators to replan, rethink, re-strategize, rebrand your products, so that when the borders are open, you are ready to take on the world. Believe me, you'll become bigger, brighter and better once the COVID pandemic is over, because many people are just waiting to travel across the borders, and Ipoh, believe me, will be one of the places of interest to come, because this is the place, I call it heaven on earth, in terms of food, the people, the industry, and things that you can take home. Truly an incredible moment. Dato, it was really a pleasure speaking to you, because you are a man of wisdom and intelligence. You speak the flow of the energy I can see from a 74-year-old man is truly incredible and mesmerizing. So those who are around that age, you know what to do. Watch this video a few times and see the energy exuberating from inside, because this is passion and interest at its best. My final question will always be the future of Ipoh. How do we see Ipoh 10 years from now? And this question, I would like to ask this great man, Dato. Can you just give us a vision, envisage what will happen to Ipoh, let's say, in the year 2030?
While we leave the development to the authorities, to the corporate organization, we as an individual, I would like, it is my dream anyway, so that one day everybody from the oldest man or woman to the youngest, they know and they are proud of what they have. Don't blame the youngsters if they do not know what is Taman DR, what is Gua Tempurung, because it is our duty to educate them, to tell the stories. You see, like me, I'm from Kampung Palo. I've been telling stories to my grandchildren. How interesting I was brought up in a kampung, where at that time I can swim in the Kinta River. Yeah, I make friends. Our neighbors are Chinese, Indians. We work together. There's no such thing as Indian Chinese. So this is what I wish. I mean, let Kuala Lumpur and other cities prosper with their skyscrapers, but I would like to see Ipoh. People looking forward to stay, to come and retire and stay and have their family in Ipoh. You feel safe, you feel proud, and maybe you live longer by staying in Ipoh. Thank you very much.
Wow, such a wonderful half an hour with Abang here, Dato Haji Muhammad Odzman Kadir. I believe this morning, as the host himself, I've learned a few things, the golden nuggets to take home. It is not through looking at YouTube, looking into the newspapers or even the magazine, but from the mouth, they call it from the horse's mouth. A person who is so close to Ipoh, so involved in tourism, being a former city councillor, and from many seats that he has taken us today on his journey of humbleness, his journey of how he wants Ipoh to be. There is an Ipoh of city of balance, city of greenery, city of happiness, and most important, a city we can all be proud of. The conclusion of episode 5 of Radio Television Bandar Ipoh with Morning Ipoh with Katie stops here. And I want to thank Abang Dato for this wonderful morning, for sharing your insights, for the wonderful, comfortable, clean house. This is what everyone should do. Be part of the Ipoh community, right? Talk to us, discuss with us, share with us ideas, and we will make Ipoh City the fantastic city to live and work. Thank you. Terima kasih. Sese. Koi sai. Mikan nandri.